Hi friends, thanks for being here. So we're talking about pantry prepping, and I was gonna say don't mind the way I look, but if you're here for that, you're missing out. Whatever. We're really focusing right now, especially now while prices are kick butt in Canada. Look, we just spent 700 and under 750. We got 2 boxes of food, a case of eggs, and not much else. It was a really sad attempt at prepping. Now, I'm in Victoria, BC, Canada. If you don't know where that is, think of Vancouver, BC, Canada. Don't ever say Vancouver, Canada, because people think you're twisted, okay? It's the province of BC, British Columbia. I'm in on the island, Vancouver Island, right? Which is, yeah, you have to take a boat to get, the mainland is Vancouver. Anyway, our food gets shipped in. So if you think I'm full of baloney, I could really not care at all, but it's brought in by a barge. That's how food is brought in here. And when it comes in by barge, we're paying, oh man, we're paying a ton of money for our gas, our propane. Excuse me, that wood should have gone west to east because it'll burn up and go right up the chimney. If it doesn't go west to east, I'm not going to get any heat. Don't burn yourself though. We're just getting a fire going, as you can tell. It's important to note where you live and what's accessible to you. So, if you're in Alberta, Canada, and, they've got a lot of, I don't know if they have refineries, but I know there's oil fields there. Anybody who knows Canada, and Paul Revere will tell you, we could grow our own food and be self-sustainable. But yeah, Twisted Canada has to do business everywhere else. I'm not going to get onto that. Know what you have in your area. So if you're in, say, Alliston or New Brunswick, Canada, or, Alliston's on Ontario. If you're in a potato capital, buy a lot of potato foods. Use potatoes for, trade, bartering, learning all the different recipes you can do with that. If you are able, if you're in the eastern areas of Canada, then you're able to easily access flour. It'll be a lot cheaper than it is for us. We bought it when it was cheaper. It's still good. All you do is put it in a, I was going to say a Ziploc bag, not the size we buy. Tupperware containers are good. Keep it sealed until you're going to use it. And once you open it, roll it back up, clip it closed, and put it in an airtight container or a bin. A bin's a really, really good idea. You can also put it in garbage bags and freeze it. You can do the same thing with yeast. Buy yeast and freeze it. Freezing it stops any potential aging. So know how to make your bread. Know how to make the things that you need in a day, right? What kind of things can you come up with? Like rolled oats. Buy lots of rolled oats. Quick oats, long oats, whatever. Your water. Get lots and lots and lots of bottled water. Hey? Yeah. Your water, you should have enough in your house to last 2 weeks per person. We consider ourselves, even though we live here with our 3 cats, our son is here quite a bit, and definitely on the weekends, and we consider him as well, because just in case, things happened, say where he has a tenancy, and he can't stay there, then obviously he's going to be with us. So we also think of our other boys. We've got 2 other boys and they have families. There's 8 people there. So we really we kicked it into gear when we decided to get into our pantry prepping. We decided to not think about just Paul and I. We decided to think about our whole family. What if we had to? What if they, had a hard time and they needed to shop, and that's happened a couple of times. We don't even notice it, seriously. And it's kind of a cool thing when they do, because it helps them, but it helps us too, because you got to rotate your pantry. So that's another big thing. Rotating your pantry. Look at the back labels. Don't always assume just because it says best before does not mean it expires on.
Oh, yeah, mushroom soup is great after it's expired.
Yeah, so is almond milk. 2 years later, right? I got those chia seeds and I made almond milk pudding, like, with the chia seeds. And that was like 2 years later. And I drank it. I shook it up. I drank it. Now, the worst that's going to happen is it's going to be a terrible taste. But no, it tastes really, really good. So don't assume. What?
The soup is acidic, so it's fine.
It also has GMO in it. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I've had expired tomato soup and I can't tell the difference.
Yeah. Things like war food, what they had in the Second World War and the First World War, those are things to also learn how to make. What is it? Becky's Homestead. She's a girl from the South, and I'm telling you, that girl has made so many different recipes, so many different ways. There's a recipe, though, for preacher cake. I wanted to mention that because, and I'm over my time. Anyway, go check out Becky's Homestead because she's got preacher cake on there, and it's made with all the single ladies, right? We get all excited on a Sunday. Oh, they invited the preacher for dinner. Woo! Might be a marriage, Well, you gotta make a cake because back in the day, cake was it. Cake represented so many different things like weddings, birthdays, parties, preacher, a Sunday supper, you have a piece of cake, right? And it's easy to make. I mean, what is it? Flour, baking powder, salt, sugar, oil, or milk, and a few simple ingredients, and you got yourself a cake. Check out that recipe, though. Seriously, you will not be sorry. Tomato soup is another thing. You're going to think, I know I got to wrap it up. Tomato soup, you're going to think, does it make a great cake? Look up recipes for tomato soup cake. Very little ingredients. You can make something out of nothing. And in a pantry, you need to be able to look at 1 or 3 ingredients at least and go, I can make this, this, and this out of that and feed your family. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about these things, but emergency pantry prepping, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that you hit the notification bell and give us a subscribe and share the video. Because these are times right now where this is going on. 700 and some odd bucks and we have very little. No, it's not okay. So we need to share and talk about it. All right, we'll see you soon.